Hello and welcome to the talkSPORT Goals Preview Show, brought to you by Final One Standing, new from William Hill, 18 plus at gambleaware.org. I'm Sam Ellard, and joining me to look ahead to the weekend's Premier League action, as always, is Lee Phelps from William Hill. Lee, hi, how are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Looking forward to another great weekend. The goal shot, like the Saturday games, it is stacked. Brilliant, can't wait.
Good man. Let's start with Final One Standing. Come on, the original 500k jackpot. We've only got 3 more weekends to go, right, until it's done, whatever happens.
I know. But imagine if you survive the full 20 weeks. Incredible. Yeah, I've got, as usual, just got it through, hot off the press, hence why I'm looking at my phone. That 500k game, 63% have gone for Leeds United.
Wow.
At home to Crystal Palace. 15.5% have gone for Wolves. We've been waiting for when Wolves get picked. I think it's now or never for them. And then you've got the rest are all split between, you've got like 5% Fulham, 4% Bournemouth, 3% Sunderland. But looking at some of the other leagues, by the way, still a few to go there. The 50k league that started in game week 2, 52 people left in that one, 33 left in the game that started in game week 3. Then 21 left, and there's a 20k game which started in round 5 of the Premier League. So we're down to the last few, and the talkSPORT League, which is $5,000, 5 players left, and hopefully we'll have one of those remaining 5 on the warm up on Saturday as well. So looking forward to it. I think I'll say this every week, don't I? One's got to go this weekend, surely, just in time for Christmas. Everyone's happy.
There we go. Yeah, hopefully. Good luck to everyone involved in Final One Standing. Right, let's go game by game, shall we, Lee? And you will try and pick out some prices that jump out at you. Newcastle-Chelsea, Saturday, 12:30. Newcastle have won their last 3 Premier League home games against Chelsea, but not in amazing form this season. They've conceded in each of their last 9 Premier League games. They've never gone 10 in a row without a clean sheet, as with Eddie Howe as manager. And surprisingly, or to me anyway, no side have kept more clean sheets than Chelsea in the Premier League this season, level with Arsenal. Is this a hard game for you guys to try and separate these two sides?
Yeah, there's not much between them. 13-8 Newcastle at home, 6-4 Chelsea away. So those prices are more or less the same, aren't they? 12-5 the draw. Biggest price for the 3. Don't think anyone would be surprised if it ended in a draw, but it's boring going for that all the time, isn't it? We've got plenty of other games that we can go for that in. I think Newcastle's home form is as good as their away results are bad. Proved again by the midweek win over Fulham to book that semi-final place in the League Cup. I don't get a chance to crow too often about winners, so I had a lovely bet builder up on talkSPORT 2 that we put up, as well as the epic boost on Wissa to score or assist, his first goal of many for Newcastle, and crucially not going to AFCON. They've won the last 4 at home to Chelsea. Aggregate score 9-1 in League and Cup. And you look at Chelsea's away form, they've only won away at Cardiff and Burnley in the last 6 away games. I'm going Newcastle home win. Okay. I think they'll want to put a good performance in front of their fans after the wine derby, the Weir Tyne derby, wine and tears. It probably was wine and tears.
And
for Newcastle
fans perhaps Nick Voltemade might have had a couple of glasses of wine after that own goal, right?
So I'm going to go Newcastle home win here.
See, I have no problem in being boring, so I'm going to sit on the fence and say score draw and move on to the next game. Well, I will be picking a winner in the Bournemouth-Burnley game. Bournemouth, though, winless in their last 7 Premier League matches, not in great form, had that great entertaining 4-4 draw at United on Monday night. Burnley have lost their last 7 Premier League games, and Burnley now 7 points off safety, and they really are starting to drift, Lee.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to go Bournemouth. Obviously, there's no question, but they're both out of form. And I couldn't back Bournemouth at 4-9 with your money, Sam. I do think they'll have too many goals for Burnley, though. I think they'll win the game, but it's just at 4-9. It's like, can't be backing Bournemouth at 4-9. The 4-4 draw at Old Trafford was a reminder of the quality and the goal scorers they have in their side. Semenyo, Evan Nielsen, Krupi, Kluivert didn't score in that game, but obviously capable of scoring. The best news for Bournemouth fans, not so much for Ghana fans, is that Ghana didn't qualify for AFCON. First time in 21 years, by the way. So Semenyo stays in the UK. 2-2 against Burnley from the 23-24 season. I'd have him in a bet builder, build it around shots on target, because I think however Burnley try and set up here to try and stifle the game, I think Bournemouth will have to be at it and they'll have shots. Whether they score many is debatable. I think they'll score more than Burnley, but I'd be looking at shots on target. The interesting thing here is that Burnley have scored in all but their first away game of the season in the league. That was at Tottenham. And they've scored more away goals than Arsenal with 11.
Is that right?
Do you know what?
Say
I
that
wrote
one
that
more
down.
time. That's a remarkable stat.
Let me just check that again. I'm just going to check.
Oh, no.
No, I wrote it down. I wrote it down in my prep. And I just want to check that again. Arsenal.
It sounds made up.
Arsenal have scored 10 goals away from home. Burnley, 11.
That is, I mean, there's me doing hours of research for this show, and you've just come up and stumped me with that one.
Start of the season, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hope it's true.
And yet Arsenal are number 1 and Burnley are 1 off the bottom. Football's a funny sport, isn't it? So Bournemouth-Burnley, Saturday, 3 o'clock game, as is Brighton versus Sunderland. This is the first ever Premier League meeting between Brighton and Sunderland. Sunderland continuing their magnificent season last weekend, beating Newcastle in that derby. Sunderland's 26 Premier League points this season is the best return by a promoted side after 16 games since Hull back in 08-09. They also had 26. But Lee, despite Sunderland being really, really good, they're still a big price to win at Brighton this weekend.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? It's interesting to see how Black Cats cope with the Seagulls, isn't it? Don't worry, I'm not going there. No. 6 players have left for AFCON, remember. Now, in fairness, Noah Siddiqui, Ronaldo Mandava and Bertrand Traore are the only 3 of the 6 who really probably be felt, because the others have made a few appearances here or there, maybe squad players, but it still reduces a squad, doesn't it? Losing 6 players out of your team, and it must make a big difference to the, just the everyday being at the club and these players being missing. And those 3 I mentioned have been influential, obviously, through the season. Carlos Balibá's missing for Brighton, playing for Cameroon. The 3 without a win now, 2 of those at home, where they have been good in the past. Sunderland have only scored 1 in the last 3. They scored in the 1-1 draw at Liverpool, didn't score at City, no shame in that, didn't score at Fulham. I'm with Brighton here, 13-20, a little bit short. Danny Welbeck's due a goal, hasn't he? Not been playing much. In fact, he didn't start in either of the defeats that I mentioned. So maybe bring him back in against his former club and look at Danny Welbeck to score in a Brighton win. I think Sunderland, I think we might just see a little downturn in form. It doesn't mean they're going to get beat heavily or anything. I think it'll be close still. Could be a score draw or 2-1 to Brighton.
I fancy Brighton at home, maybe just to edge this game. City West Ham, also Saturday, 3 o'clock. City in good form, they're second in the table, 2 points behind Arsenal. West Ham not in good form, 18th in the table and 3 off safety. City are unbeaten in their last 19 Premier League games against West Ham. And since the start of April, Man City have won the most home games and home points in the Premier League. Everything here, Lee, is obviously pointing towards a very comfortable home West Ham win. But is there anything you like that can maybe get us a decent price with a City win in there?
Yeah, it's very short, isn't it? 1-5, 11-2 the draw. West Ham are 10-1. I don't see how City don't win this. They've won the last 6 head-to-heads by an aggregate score of 18-4. And even when they were in that patch last season, when they started 2025 with a 4-1 win against West Ham, so they're like whipping boys for them. Obviously, I'm not telling anyone anything they don't already know, but Erling Haaland has to be involved. And 9 goals in 6 games against West Ham, including 5 last season in 2 matches. He got a hat-trick in London and then 2 in that 4-1 game that I mentioned. 5-1 for a hat-trick, or just under, 24-5 for a hat-trick. It's not good enough value. It's the same price, 24-5, for Haaland to score with an assist from Foden. So I'll go for that.
Okay, yeah, Phil Foden's in magnificent form, isn't he? He's playing a little bit more centrally at the moment, which is where I think he's at his best, getting those balls in those tight spaces. He's in great form. Also, Cherky as well. Scored that great goal, didn't he, in the week in the Carabao Cup. So, maybe a Foden goal to assist. I like that. And maybe even Cherky to get on the score sheet as well.
I like that as well.
To try. Oh, good. There we go. Maybe we should swap jobs, Lee. I should do your job. You should do my job.
That's the land first.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wolves, Brentford, Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. Wolves are winless in their last 20 Premier League matches. There have been only 4 longer runs in the competition's history. But since the start of last season, only Wolves have lost more away Premier League matches than Brentford, which is 15, and Brentford losing the last 4 in a row. But despite Brentford's poor away form, I think any team that plays Wolves at the moment, I'm just going for the other team. So Brentford away win here.
21-20, so a touch of odds against. The draw's 23-10. Wolves are 5-2. I I watched the Arsenal game. I thought they were organised, and they were, they were very close to pulling off a sensational draw. And that sounds mad, but they need anything they can get at the moment. Remember, I think this is their big chance to get a win, and I don't know if it's a little bit of sentimentality or something, but I'm backing them to do it against the Brentford side who've lost 5 on the spin away from home and won 1 in 9 on the road this season. And I know Wolves are the sort of team where you'd say, well, they're another one that they go and win at. Yeah, I get it. Missing the unpronounceable Dango Ouattara. Well, for me anyway.
Wolves... It's quite simple, really, actually. It's not that difficult.
It's easy, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wolves are without Emmanuel Agbadou, who's played more minutes than any other defender at the club at Wolves in the Premier League this season. So that's a big miss for them as well. So I'm not saying this is, again, it's like 5-2 Wolves. I'd like it to be a bit bigger, to be honest with you. I mean, like we said at the start, there's lots of people going for Wolves. They're not the top pick in final one standing, but lots of people are going for them in those leagues that are nearing the end. We've got a new £100,000 league starting on Saturday, 3 p.m. deadline for that one. It's 12:30 deadline for all the other games as usual. 3 p.m. deadline for the 100k game. Anyone can join, whether you're playing in another league or not. I'm guaranteeing there'll be hardly anyone putting Wolves in that league. But yeah, maybe it's a touch of sentimentality, and you shouldn't do that if you're having a bet.
Why are you sentimental towards Wolves?
Well, not sentimental. I guess what I mean is I think they have to win a game sooner or later by the law of averages, and if they're going to do it, it's at home against Brentford.
Yeah. Okay.
Who else are they going to win against? Burnley, maybe.
Can they play? Yeah. I'm going to go for an away win here, Lee, and keep it nice and simple.
Yeah, no, absolutely fair enough. Probably wouldn't have a bet in the game if unless I had to. We're previewing it, aren't we? But I probably would leave it alone, if I'm being honest. But if I had to choose, I'd go Wolves.
Okay, we're eating good on Saturday. We're going to be together from 12:30 to 5:30. What we're then going to do at 5:27, break, rush out of the studio, and I'll try and be home for around 6 o'clock. So Spurs Liverpool at 5:30 is normally a fun fixture. Liverpool versus Tottenham is the top scoring fixture in Premier League history. Liverpool 4 unbeaten in all competitions, just 2 points off the top 4 in 7th place. Spurs have got an awful record against Liverpool, winning just 2 of their last 25 Premier League games against Liverpool, and I fancy an away win here, Lee.
Yeah, I do as well. Spurs are 23-10, not big enough if you're going to back Spurs. 13-5 the draw, 21-20 Liverpool. So odds against for Liverpool, like you said, against a team who they just win for fun and rack up plenty of goals against them as well, don't they? I was just looking back at the recent head-to-heads, and unbelievable record, really, isn't it? It's like 5s and 4s and 6s. I wonder what this might be like, a bit of like amateur psychology from me, but do you think I know Mo Salah kind of went on the pitch and everything seems to be patched up a little bit. Do you think him leaving for AFCON now might be a bit of a watershed moment for Liverpool? The other players might just go, right, that's out of the way now. Let's just get on with this. Like a TK, just make him the focus. I know Isak comes back in, who by the way scored in and won 4 of his last 5 against Spurs. But this seems to me like this should be a point where Liverpool go, right, that is away for a little while now. That issue and Mo Salah, let's crack on.
Yeah, I think possibly on his slot, back of his mind, might be absolutely over the moon that Mo Salah's going away, because sort of when Mo was in poor form, it took him a long time to drop him, and now the fact that he's going to be out of the team, when he comes back, if things are going well, it'll be easier for Arne Slot not to pick Mo Salah with less noise around it if Liverpool are playing well and winning consistently without him in the team. And I like Ekitike Lee to score here. He's been in really, really good form.
Absolutely.
And for the talk about Alexander Isak, he looks really good, really crisp, doesn't he, in front of goal. Spurs Liverpool 5:30 with 5 games down then on the talkSPORT Goals preview show, which is brought to you by Final One Standing, which is new from William Hill. This is the talkSPORT Goals preview show brought to you by Final One Standing, new from William Hill, 18+, gambleaware.org. Sam Ellard and Lee Phelps taking you through the Premier League action this weekend. We've done 5 games, we've got 5 more games to go. Hope you haven't got any plans on Saturday night, Lee?
Nothing. Travelling back up north, basically, so nothing other than listening to the games on the radio.
Good. I hope most of you guys haven't got plans Saturday night, because we've got the 5:30 game Spurs Liverpool, then a real tasty game Everton Arsenal Saturday night under the lights, 8 p.m. and victory for Arsenal would see them top of the table at Christmas for the third time in the last 4 seasons, having done so just twice in their first 30 Premier League campaigns. Under Arsene Wenger from 96 to 2018, Arsenal won more Premier League away games against Everton than any other side did. But since Wenger left, they've won just 1 of their last 7 visits to Everton. Tough game for Arsenal. All the cliches, away from home, under the lights, loud atmosphere at Everton. Can you see them dropping points, Lee?
Keep seeing tests for Arsenal, and I feel like I don't know if it comes across as being negative towards them, but I think until a team has gone and done it, then it's justifiable to say this is another test. If it was City or even Liverpool, but particularly City, you'd be going, yeah, no, I trust them to go and get the job done. I think there's a lack of trust in Arsenal until we see it done. Now, they keep passing most of them. I thought they played all right against Aston Villa, by the way, and it was, you could count yourselves as being a little unlucky to lose that game. But yeah, I think they'll get the job done here. I mean, Everton are 9-2 to win at home, Sam, which is a decent price for a strong team. If they can go about this in the way that Aston Villa did. Now, I know they haven't got the quality Aston Villa have, but confidently and take the game to Arsenal, I'd be interested to see what the result would be then. I worry that they'll be a bit more defensive than that, though. And 11-4 the draw, 8-13 Arsenal.
Dewsbury Hall, Grealish and Dye all had some knocks after Everton's last game, and they're 3 of Everton's best players. So depending on how many of them are available, also impact if people want to have a bet on Everton at home in 9.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Ellard and Lee away at AFCON, joint top scorer.
Of course he is, yeah.
Yeah, just the guys away as well at AFCON. So 2 big players for them with the injuries, like you say. Everton have lost all 5 of their games against Champions League teams playing in the Champions League this season, which I think is interesting. Thanks to Flashscore for that stat. This is a bet that when I saw the price, I thought, yes, I like that. This is my favourite bet of the weekend. This stat on Arsenal's away record, they've conceded first in 5 of the last 7 games on the road. For Arsenal to come from behind and win, 9-1.
You like that, yeah?
9-1 for something that is happening. Yeah. The only downside to that is who scores the goal for Everton. I get that. But Everton to score first, effectively, Arsenal to turn that round and win, I think that's an unbelievable price.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So our Everton-Arsenal is Saturday, 8 o'clock kickoff. There's another Saturday night, 8 o'clock kickoff. Leeds-Crystal Palace. Was jumping out with you here, Lee?
Leeds, I think. I mean, it's very tight in the betting. 13-8 Leeds, 13-8 Palace, 11-5 the draw. Look out for all the epic boosts on the games over the weekend. By the way, there'll be them on the Liverpool game, on the Arsenal game. I think this is intriguing. We've talked a few times about Palace coming back from European action, and they're the only team who are playing in Europe. They're at home as we record this. The record after Europe isn't great, as we keep saying. Leeds are buzzing with goals in the side. I think, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I know he's become a bit of a running joke in the goal studio, but 4-4, it's back to his very best
matter,
form.
Is it?
I mean, I'm not sure he gets 5-5, but again, I think this is a great one for a bet builder. Shots on target. I think it'll be a decent match. It'll be a competitive match. Ismaila Sarr's gone to the AFCON with Senegal, of course. That's a big miss for them. He hasn't been playing that much recently, but I can see this is a great bet builder game with shots on target, like I say, both teams to score. I'm going to go Leeds win here. And obviously, like I said at the start, there's a lot of final 1 standing players with Leeds United this weekend. So there'll be a lot of goodwill shoved towards Elland Road. And I think Elland Road, this kind of game, it'll be absolutely rocking. And I think it'll just be a little bit too much for Palace. 2-1.
A busy day Saturday, a quieter day Sunday, but the Sunday 4:30 game is a tasty one. Villa start the weekend 3rd in the table, 3 points off top of the table Arsenal. They got an awful record, though, against Man United. I mentioned Spurs' record against Liverpool earlier, which was really bad. Aston Villa have won just 1 of their last 26 Premier League home games against Manchester United. But Villa have been good at home over the last year or so. Only Man City have won more home Premier League points in 2025 than Aston Villa. Man United winning their last 2 away Premier League matches. But despite that awful home record, Lee, I'm going for Villa to win this game of football.
Me too, all day long. 11-10. I think this should be shorter. Given the form that they're in, the confidence that they've got, and the fact that United are without Brian Mbeumo, Ahmad and Mazraoui, 3 key players for them. I mean, that's a lot to take out of a team. I mean, a lot of the players that I've mentioned today are all playing for their teams, but a lot have got kind of like bit part players, squad players who've gone. These are 3 very key players for them, and I think it's a lot to take out. So I think 11 to 10 is a cracking price for Aston Villa. I mean, I don't think you need to go into much more detail than that. I'd just take that as a I think they'll be shorter than that by the time the match kicks off. To be honest, once team news comes out, obviously we know all the players in their side. Morgan Rogers is sensational at the moment, isn't he? Like, we watched him, didn't we? And we were just like, he looks like in any other era he would be first choice for that England team.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think in years gone by, crying out for that sort of player, but he's pretty unfortunate that Foden, Palmer, and Bellingham are also existing in the same time as him. They're also quite good. Monday Night Football, Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. Forest up to 16th. They've won 4 of their last 6 league games under Sean Dyche, who is perhaps maybe going a bit under the radar and doing a fairly decent job there at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, especially away from home. They won 3-0 at Liverpool, 1-0 at Wolves. Obviously, you should do that. 3-0 they lost to Everton, which was seemed like a really strange result for them. And obviously went away to Utrecht and won. So they're good away from home. Fulham are just so inconsistent, aren't they? It's hard to know what to do with Fulham, really. They're 13 to 10 to win this game, Fulham. 9 to 4 the draw, 2 to 1 Forest. Fulham lost the last couple against Man City and Crystal Palace. So again, no shame in that. I don't think I've put a draw up all the way through. I'm going to go for a draw and both teams to score for Monday Night Football. Look out for the epic boost on this one. But yeah, draw, both teams to score, and hopefully we get a few winners.
Yeah, let's hope so. So as we enter the we're not miles off, are we? The halfway stage of the season. We got I think from next weekend there's 5 Premier League rounds of fixtures in the space of 2 weeks. So games come around thick and fast. So fascinatingly, in terms of sort of outright prices, whether it's going for the league, Champions League, or relegation, is there something that jumps out at you as something that which people should be on?
No, well, I think the value's gone on Man City now. They're 13 to 8, and given the way, I mean, if Arsenal get a draw at Everton, City win, then it's all on, isn't it? Like Arsenal could be, obviously if Arsenal win, they top the table on Christmas Day and great. Then the rest really, Liverpool 25s, Aston Villa 28s, Chelsea 28s. In terms of the top 5 finish, if we say that's what it was last season, wasn't it? The price I don't like is Manchester United at 15 to 8 to finish in the top 5. I think, Newcastle need to find some consistency, but I think Newcastle at 5 to 1, if they can get Johan Risa scoring, if they can get some consistency on the road going, I think that looks a decent price at 5 to 1. I'd rather take them at 5s than Manchester United at 15 to 8 personally. And as for the relegation picture, it's it's who goes down with Burnley and Wolves. Wolves are now 200 to 1 on, by the way, 18 to 1 on for Burnley, and then West Ham 4 to 6, Leeds 21 to 10, Forest 8 to 1. So the betting has it either West Ham or Leeds, and West Ham being the favourites. I don't think Nuno's doing a good enough job personally, but no one's talking about it. So
I think that's the deal. I think I've said all season I think Leeds go down. So I mean, Leeds are 2 to 1 to go down. I think
just over. Let's smidgen over.
I think that's a generous. Like, I think if it comes down to West Ham and Leeds going into the final stretch of the season, I think West Ham have got more quality players than Leeds. So I think that's a decent value bet there. Maybe Leeds.
Yeah. What about if Wolves do the most amazing?
Go on. What price can we get Wolves staying up?
16 to 1 for Wolves to stay up.
That's so tiny. That's bang out of order.
It doesn't seem good enough. Yeah,
honestly.
It's not going to happen anyway. Yeah, find another bet.
I love William Hill and I love all the final one standings and the epic boost. But WhatsApp the traders right now and say Sam Ellard says that's bang out of order, 16 to 1.
I'll message him on Slack now.
Good stuff. Lee, we use Slack here as well. That's good. 2025, that's the way forward, isn't it? Lee, good man, good stuff. We'll see you on Saturday, yeah?
Can't wait.
Thank you very much for joining us for talkSPORT Goals Preview Show, brought to you by Final One Standing, new from William Hill, 18+, gambleaware.org. We will see you for talkSPORT Goals this Saturday, 12:30 on the talkSPORT YouTube channel and on your smart TV to keep you across all of the Premier League action. We'll see you Saturday.